Hello students, welcome to our class. Hope you are happy and healthy. I think you have watched, enjoyed and understood the lesson, The New Blue Dress. Let us commence our today's class. Until now, we have completed Unit 1 teaching part of 3 lessons, reading A, B and C. And we have completed dealing with the textual exercises also. I believe that you have followed the videos and completed the assigned work also. Better if you follow them properly, you can learn the subject very nicely and it leads you to get perfection. And from today onwards, we are going to start our grammar and more. Here if you go through, this is the slide taken from our index page given in your material. First unit, reading A, B and C and degrees of comparison is also there in your material. First we will start from sentences. So today we are going to learn about sentences. Page number 5 to 60. Grammar and more. Hope you might have got an idea what are we going to learn now. The sentence. What is meant by sentence? Let us learn and know. Sentence. What is the purpose of learning sentence? Is it important to learn? Do you think like that? Yes, it's very important to learn. Let us know the reasons. We need words to express our thoughts to others. So to express our ideas, what do we want? Words. Words have to be put in a certain order so that they make much sense. Words has to be there in the correct order. If the words are not in a correct order, what happens? It gives meaningless idea. Words has to be there in a correct order to get meaningful sentence or meaningful idea. Such a group of words is called a sentence. So a group of words which makes complete sense is known as a sentence. Read the following groups of words. Very exciting, was it a match? Does it sound meaningful to you? Are you able to get the idea or concept or content in that sentence? No. This is like a jumbled sentence, means the order of words in the sentence is not correct. This group of words does not make any sense. We are unable to understand by going through that. B. In the kitchen. What happened in the kitchen? Who is there? The group of words given makes sense but not complete. See here, in the kitchen we can understand only 50% of the meaning only we will get from those group of words but not complete meaning. And the first sentence if you go through, it's a jumbled sentence. It does not make complete sense. Second group of words, B, in the kitchen. It gives a sense but not complete. Go through carefully. The boy has done his homework. Yes. This group of words makes complete sense. It is a sentence. The order of the words in a sentence is meaningful, correct, and they have given complete sentence. By this we can understand the meaning in that. Every sentence begins with a capital letter, ends with either a full stop, question mark or an exclamation mark. So it depends upon the type of sentence. Has a verb, action word will be there. Has a subject and a predicate. What's meant by subject and predicate? Yes, my dear children, don't think this is a new topic for us. Okay, already we have acquaintance with these topics in our previous classes also. And why should we learn now also? Already we know about that. Then what is the necessity of recapitulating or recalling or learning once again? The levels of learning are increasing from class to class. You are learning in more deep level. That's only the variation. Topic is say. Once again we recall the definition of sentence. What is a sentence? A sentence is generally defined as a word or a group of words that expresses a complete idea or sense. Example, the cow gives us milk. The cow, subject, gives us milk, verb, subject, verb, everything is there in this sentence. It gives complete meaning. Some more examples. He is a good boy. If you observe the common point here, all the sentences started with capital letter and ended with first sentence with a full stop, second sentence with a question mark, third sentence with an exclamatory mark, again fourth and fifth with full stop. What kind of variation can you observe here? First example, he is a good boy. Is he present today? What a nice weather. Do it. Go. Parts of sentence. Before we start learning about types of sentences, we should have a basic knowledge about parts of a sentence. So we'll go through this, then we can persist about that. Every complete sentence consists of two parts, a subject and a predicate. Just now we have come across those two words also. Now we'll go through the definitions regarding each and everything. Subject. The part of the sentence which talks about the person or a thing is called the subject of the sentence. The part speaks about or talks about the thing, doer of the action, who is performing that action, is known as subject. Predicate. The part of the sentence which talks about the subject, what kind of action has been done by the subject, doer, the person who is doing, is called the predicate of the sentence. Always remember, children, this is the basic element or basic topic. A group of words which makes complete sense, means the order of the words in a sentence should be correct. And in the same way, every sentence has two parts, subject and predicate. Let us go through an example. Ram likes to eat mangoes. Who is subject here? Ram, doer of the action. Predicate, likes to eat mangoes. Doer of the action only comes under subject. Rest of the sentence completely comes under predicate. Always remember, predicate starts from verb, action word. What are these? Yes, your guess is correct. These are kinds of sentences. How many kinds of sentences are there? There are 4 kinds of sentences. They are declarative sentence, imperative sentence, interrogative sentence, exclamatory sentence. Let us learn about each kind of sentence in a detailed manner with examples, which helps you to understand very easy. Declarative sentence. A statement that tells us something. It gives you an idea or facts or information. It ends with a full stop. For example, I went to the shop today. My name is Jasmine. Here they are giving some information. Imperative sentence. Tells someone to do something. It can be a command or request. It ends with a full stop. See here, children. What's the difference between declarative and imperative sentence? There just we give an information or facts. Here the tone of the voice or modulations will come as per the situation. See here, please complete your homework for tomorrow. It says suggestion. Go to school now. Command. So how can you decide the kind, whether it is a command or request? Based on the tone or modulation of the voice, we can decide. Interrogative sentence asks a question. It ends with a question mark. Where do you live? To know the information, we question. Means we are expecting an answer. Whenever we expect an answer, we pose the questions. And these end with a question mark. Where do you live? What time did you go to the shop? Exclamatory sentence. Sentence that shows a strong feeling. To express our emotions, we use exclamatory sentence. Even this also can be understood at the time of speaking only through the modulation of our voice. It ends with an exclamation mark. For example, I feel so sad. Today is the best day ever. So, one of the sentences is related to express our sadness, and one more sentence is related to express our happiness. Both can be expressed by us with the help of modulating our voice. Phrase. What's meant by phrase? Did we go through this phrase earlier, or did we hear this word earlier? Yes. We have acquaintance, but little bit more we'll learn about this. A phrase is a piece of information in a sentence made up of more than one word. Did you remember, children? At the time of learning or discussing about sentence, we have gone through some of the examples. In the kitchen. It was a very exciting match. In the kitchen. It gives information or meaning but not complete meaning. Those comes under phrases. So here what are they telling? A phrase is piece of information in a sentence. Phrase, where will it be there? It will be there in the sentence only. Made up of more than one word. It has to be remembered by you. Very important point. Phrase gives us information which is not complete, incomplete. Phrase will be there in the sentence only. And always remember, phrase will not come alone. Group of words or more than one word. More than one word means a phrase means words will be there, not a word. This basic point has to be remembered by you. Go through the definition once again carefully. And here some more important points or key points were mentioned. What are they? It is not a complete sentence, means incomplete sentence. It does not share a complete thought. It will not give you complete idea, incomplete idea. It does not have a subject and a verb. Means doer of the action and action words will not be there in the phrase. These 3 points are more than enough to get an idea what is meant by phrase. In your grammar and more, if you observe in the first unit, just they have given very basic exercises related to phrase. So today we are going to learn only about definition what is meant by phrase. If you are able to recognize in a sentence, okay, these are the phrases, that is more than enough for us. Okay, and how many kinds of phrases, how should we recognize? Okay, this comes under noun phrase or adjective phrase. Like that we will learn in our forthcoming classes. For this class, if you are able to recognize the phrases in a sentence is enough. Please follow the guidelines carefully to avoid confusion. Example, the book was sitting on the table means there was a book on the table. What is the subject? Book. Means here we are speaking about a book. The verb is sitting. So you may get doubt. Madam was also there. No, madam. Was means was also verb only. But here was functions or work as a helping verb or auxiliary verb. Because one more main verb is also there here. That's why we mentioned sitting only as verb. We call this a sentence or an independent clause. Sentence or an independent clause means the order of the words in this sentence are correct, it gives complete meaning. The book was sitting on the table. This is not a phrase. This is not a phrase. Why? What's the reason? Because it has a subject and a verb. What does it have? It has subject, doer of the action, and an action word. And it shares a complete thought, complete idea. And it's a complete sentence. It's a complete sentence. It has all the qualities related to a sentence. A phrase has to be more than one word. So if I tell book, was, table, on, are these phrases? No. Already at the time of going through the definition, we have learnt very clearly phrase means more than one word. Words. So book, was, a table, on won't come under phrases. The book was sitting on the table. On the table is a phrase. It does not have a subject, doer of the action, and a verb, action word. But these words together share an important piece of information. Here, remember children, here they have mentioned important piece of information, means a part of information, incomplete information. They did not mention here important information, piece of information. This piece of plays a vital role to get an idea completely about the topic phrase. The book, was sitting are also phrases. The book comes under noun phrase, was sitting comes under verb phrase. I have already told you. What did I tell you? Kinds of phrases are also there. Noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, gerund phrase, like that phrases also there. About those types we will learn in our forthcoming videos. Now we are learning about only phrase definition or definition of phrase. The book was sitting on the table. On the table is a phrase. Just now we have discussed. It does not have a subject and a verb, but these words together share an important piece of information. Just for the sake of revision or recalling the important point once again, the book and was sitting are also phrases. The book comes under noun phrase, was sitting comes under verb phrase. These are the slides taken from your grammar and the explanation what did I give until now, they have given in the form of points in your grammar and more. If you go through each and every point carefully, then you can understand very easily. So here they have given a box, and what information they have given there, let us go through once, then we will get an idea. You need power only when you want to do something harmful. You need power only when you want to do something harmful. Otherwise, a smile is enough to get everything. Who quoted this? Charlie Chaplin. So, a person is pronounced great when he can face a difficult situation with happiness and laughter. What is the inner meaning of this sentence or quotation, children? Smile is enough. Everyone will smile when they are happy. But if you are able to smile when you are in sad situations also, that makes you very efficient to mold the situations in a correct way to overcome of such kind of hurdles or obstacles. Start every day off with a smile and get it over it. Every day should be started with a smile, then automatically happy ending will be there. Anonymous, W.C. Fields. Anonymous means unknown person. Work with your partner. Take turns to read the above quotes without the words in grey. Do the sentences make sense? Why? Until now you have understood the meaning of the inner content of the quotations. What did they give? So now what are they asking you to do? Just you exclude the grey colored words in the given sentences and read once again the quotations. Is it giving complete meaning? You power only when you do something harmful. A person is great when he can a difficult situation with happiness and laughter. Every day off with a smile and it over it. And it over with. Did it sound meaningful to you or meaningless? Just we have followed the guidelines given in the question. Without the words in grey, the sentences get broken up into groups of words that do not make sense on their own. The words in are verbs. So without the grey colored words, it gives a meaningless idea. So those are just like a broken sentences, or we are unable to understand what does it mean. What are the grey colored words? The parts of speech of grey colored words is verbs. Just now we have discussed about this all, children. But once again I am reading, then you can understand very easily. Sentences and phrases. Here they have given the definitions of sentences and phrases. When we want to express our thoughts, we use a group of words. A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. Sometimes a group of words makes sense but not complete sense. Such group of words are called phrases. Example, at an event, a billion lives. We can change phrases into sentences by adding other words to them. But one of the words that we add must be a verb. A sentence has a verb in it, a phrase does not. Go through this very carefully. So cautiously and consciously you listen. Then only you can understand very easily. Here they have given the definition of sentence, but they did not mention an example related to sentence. Again they have given the definition related to phrase, given examples related to phrases. At an event, a billion lives. And what did they suggest? You can make these phrases into sentences by adding some group of words. And what is mandatory? The words, what do you add to that phrase? Group of words, what are you going to add? In that, verb should be there, action word should be there. It is mandatory. That has to be followed. See, they have given some of the examples also here. Many environmentalists, not environmentalists, it's a wrong pronunciation. Many environmentalists spoke at an event organized. So, what is the verb here? Spoke. Exclude that and read once again. Many environmentalists at an event organized. What did they organize or what did they do? Meaningless. That's why they have told you whenever you are changing a phrase into a sentence, verb has to be there, or else it gives meaningless idea or concept in that will be incomplete. Many environmentalists spoke at an event organized as part of the fourth generation. This is the complete sentence, children. Even until organized also it gives complete meaning. Go through other examples also. What did they give here? Kinds of sentences. Just now we have discussed until now. Sentences are of four kinds. Declarative sentence is also known as assertive sentence. State or declare something. Examples. Here what did they give? Prasannatha Shandilya was among us the 24 children who got the National Bravery Award in 200. In 201. Who is 11 years old, fought off 5 robbers and saved the lives of her parents. Here they have given bit lengthy sentence, children. Even then, what can you understand here? Sentence means not only a one line sentence, lengthy sentences also will be there. That you should get an idea by going through this. Interrogative sentences ask questions, they end with a question mark. When did this happen? Which state does Prasannatha belong to? Imperative sentence express a command. Exclamatory sentence express some strong or sudden feelings. Go through these definitions once again, then you will get a complete idea about the topic. And here go through exercise A. Read this invitation card and frame 8 questions. Begin your questions with what, when, where, why, who or how. Here they have given an invitation. Let us go through the invitation and get an idea what is it about. Ratnasagar, take great pleasure in inviting you to tea on the occasion of the release of their e-book Bond with Nature at India International Center. Program talk by Ruskin Bond, author of the book, presentation on environmental concerns by Valmiki Thapar, release of book. RSVP Tilak Singh, contact number they have given. So here, what is it about? It is an occasion about release of their e-book. E-book means electronic book. Means hard copy will not be there. You can go through the book on through system or iPad or tab. What is the title of the book? Bond with Nature. So who is the author of the book? Ruskin Bond. He is going to speak or talk a few words about the book on that day. So here one more point, they have given RSVP. What is meant by RSVP? Did you get an idea about RSVP or did you come across that word earlier? Just go through, it's very interesting. The term RSVP comes from the French expression respond as il vous plaît, meaning please respond to the invitation. If RSVP is written on invitation, it means the host has requested that the guest respond to say if they plan to attend the party. Here they have given one contact number also. So what should you do? If they mention RSVP on the invitation, the host means who is going to conduct the event. So here to him you should make a call and ensure or make sure that whether are you going to attend or not to the party. Understood? Very interesting, no? We did not come across such kind of phrases or this kind of words also will be there. So please go through. You find more interesting if you learn about this. And I will quote some of the questions as an example or specimen. First one already they have given. Who is hosting the tea party? Second one, what is the title of the ebook? Where is the venue? Here you should remember or know the meanings of the words. For example, what? Used for giving information. When? Time. Where? About place. Why? Reason. Who? Who is related to subject of the verb. While you are posing a question related to subject of the verb, we use who, how, manner or method, in which way they are going to do. Why is for reason or cause. Here I have mentioned I have told the meanings of the question words or WH words that they have mentioned in the heading also, which will be useful to frame the questions in a correct way by avoiding mistakes. Second question, what is the title of the ebook? Third question, where is the venue? One they have already given, two have been announced by me, 5 you have to write. Think and write. Second one, tick the correct phrases. So here, first one, the morning after the storm, the top dash was covered with snow. What's the correct answer? of the car. What is the way to answer the questions correctly? First, immediately after going through the sentence, blindly nor hastily. Don't do this too. Tick the answer. Go through all the options, then you will get an idea. Then only you tick the answer. That is the correct way of answering the questions to avoid mistakes. Not only in our subject, in other subjects also. To score good marks or to avoid mistakes. Here, exercise C. Fill in the blanks to make imperative sentences. Choose words from the box. Here already they have given options in your box. So here they have given one important point also, or notice or caution. What did they give? You can use a word more than once. Okay, so repetition also will be there. How can you recognize them? First, go through all the sentences. How many sentences they have given here? They have given totally 10 sentences. How can you, what kind of word is suitable in the blank? First, go through rest of the sentence. Then you will get an idea what is the suitable answer for that question. First one already they have done. Dash all the questions except the last one. It is not from the syllabus. Attempt. What is the answer for second one? Give me something to eat. I am very hungry. Please give me something to eat. I am very hungry. What or what a or what an. So here they have given an exercise. What is it about? We can use what or what a or an to form exclamatory sentences. We must use what a before a singular noun and what before a plural or an before an abstract noun. What is meant by abstract noun? It is related to our feelings or ideas. Okay, so here they have given very clearly what is strange animal, singular, what charming music, uncountable, here music. Understood? Like that you have to go through and you have to answer this exercise. First, at the time of doing this, what should you remember is whether the nouns are singular or plural or abstract. That has to be recognized by you. Then you can answer this exercise without mistakes. Exercise E. Rearrange the words to make exclamatory sentences, punctuate them. They have given very clearly here. You have to rearrange the words, means they are in a jumbled form. You have to rearrange them in a correct order to make meaningful sentences, and you have to punctuate them. Punctuation means generally you have to go through whether the sentence comes under declarative or interrogative or imperative or exclamatory. But you no need to go through or think about those all. They have mentioned very clearly, if you write those all in a correct order, they come under exclamatory sentences. So starting sentence is capital letter, end of the sentence exclamation. That is common for these all sentences. Go through this and complete this also. Here, oh, great, hey, awesome are interjections. These are the words used to express our emotions or strong feelings. Interjections are words. Interjection is also a part of speech. Interjections are words used to express strong feelings or sudden emotions. They express surprise, disgust, means our angry or uneasiness, joy, excitement and enthusiasm. An interjection can be followed by either a comma or an exclamation mark. Here they have given 4 kinds of sentences related to exclamatory sentences on. Just to go through. Where did they keep exclamation mark? It may come at after the first word or at the end of the word also. And in some sentences 2 exclamation marks also will be there. Those has to be observed by you carefully. Then you will get an idea. Okay, these many types will be there, or in these many ways we can write exclamatory sentences. And here one more exercise. The following dialogue between a child and an air hostess does not make sense. So by this what can you understand? Here they have given a conversation or dialogue, but those are in a jumbled manner. Rearrange the words to make meaningful statements. Exclamatory sentences, question marks, commands or requests punctuate the sentences. Here they have given sentences. Firstly, they are not in a correct order. You have to place them in a correct order and you have to recognize under which kind of sentences it comes, and you have to follow the punctuation related to that. Here, go through this, children. Conversation, then you will get an idea. Exercise F. Mr. Quizzer proposes to ask 15 questions at the big quiz show today. Complete the questions using how, which, where, what, who, in, to, and of. You will need to use the words more than once. Means a repetition of the words will be there. Here they have given 2 blanks. Here just now I have already explained the meanings or uses of WH words also. That information will be useful to answer this exercise also. For example, see the first one. Dash century did the First World War take place? Answer is in which century? In the same manner, answer rest of the 8 questions also. So totally 15 questions they have given. Now try answering Mr. Quizzer's questions. Tick the correct answers. This is related to GK, children. Just you can try. Okay, children, one more thing I want to remind you. Don't think much work is allotted to you. If you observe here, these are the questions related to objective type. Just you're selecting the options, and some of the questions you're writing the sentences in a correct order. Those are also one line only. So if you take, at least if you allot 15 minutes time a day, within 2 days, means within a half an hour you can complete the allotted work or assigned work. Don't think much work is given to you, and moreover no need to write in your notebook also. You will write the answers in your grammar and more only, that also with a pencil. Then there is a possibility of correcting the mistakes when I announce the answers in the next video. See here, children, just they have given an activity also. You can go through that. Question tags. Sometimes when we need to ask for confirmation of our statement, we add a question tag. Did you remember? We have already learnt about question tags in our previous class also. Hope you are able to recall by listening the word question tag. A question tag is a mini question at the end of a statement. This tag consists of an auxiliary or helping verb plus subject. Nothing but mini statement, just for confirmation, yes or no. For that, we use the question tags at the end of a statement. See here, they have given examples also. With a positive statement, we use a negative question tag. The statement is positive. Here, that only they have given as a sentence. What is the helping verb here is subject. Subject, this statement they have given here. So always remember, at the time of writing question tags, never use nouns. We should place pronouns as per the given subject. That has to be followed by you. So this statement is positive. It is a positive sentence. That's why question tag should be negative. So we add not there. Not also in contracted form, means a short form. That's why we have written NT and we kept apostrophe. Isn't it? This statement, in place of that we have used it. One more example, they are coming. Are helping verb, they pronoun, and this is a positive sentence, so we have written aren't they. Aren't they is a wrong pronunciation. Aren't they is the correct pronunciation. With a negative statement. Until now we have gone through 2 statements. Those are related to positive statements. Now we are going through negative statements. Go through that also, we will understand very easily. We use a positive question tag. When the statement is negative, what do we use? We use a positive question tag. See here, this statement is not positive. This is a negative sentence. Then what should you write there? Positive question tag. Is it? They are not coming. Are they? So in the same manner, they have given an exercise. Complete these sentences with the correct question tags. We can have our dinner now. Can, helping verb we. Subject. As we comes under pronoun, we have used the same word to write the question tag. Here they have given options also, children. Go through the options, then you can understand very easily. Here they have given caution also. What caution they have given? The verb in the question tag should be same as the verb in the statement. That has to be observed by you carefully to answer well. Follow these precautions to avoid corona.